That's all sounding maybe familiar and something for me to think about too. Yeah. Good. I'll have David back on. We had him on after the movie, as we did Mickey as well. And so we'll have him back. And then, yeah, I'm talking to Mickey right now to see how we can support with Plandemic 3 too. So thanks for the heads up on that. I want to ask you about a couple topical things you just brought up, which is you mentioned Twitter, and I want to get your thoughts on the new CEO at Twitter. You mentioned RFK and the race for presidency and what some of the things that are being brought up. I had Robert on the show, again, very early on in May 2020 to talk to me about vaccines. At the time, I was getting ready. I was like, sign me up. I'm ready because of my science background. I bought into the science of the vaccine and didn't think about the the politics of the vaccine or
let's call it the scientism.
Yeah, the scientism, exactly. And so I still remember that episode vividly where Robert walked me through everything that's gone on from the 1986, was it a congressional piece that removed all liability? And by the end of it, I was probably never going to have a vaccination again. And so, yeah, and of course, and that wasn't allowed as well at the time. You couldn't.
Yeah, I bet it wasn't. Yeah, so let's see. The first one you wanted to talk about was, I got the Bobby part.
Oh, yeah. So, and then I want to ask you about Tucker Carlson too. Well, let's do Tucker first, because that's quickly. I know you know Tucker, you had a personal relationship with him. What did you make of all of that? And, what happens next?
Good question. Tucker appears to be stuck in no man's land, where Fox will not allow him to broadcast. And what seems to be the current dominant hypothesis is that, based on some surreptitious leaked footage, whistleblower footage, is that Fox came under pressure by Dominion as a consequence of that settlement, and also from the pharmaceutical industry to silence Mr. Carlson. And so the working seems to be the emerging consensus is that Mr. Carlson got silenced consequent to pressure from pharma and the Dominion voting machine. Now, it could well be that Fox was already a little pissed off because it was Tucker's candid comments to Laura Ingraham that what she was saying about Dominion was a lie. That became kind of exhibit 1 in the court case on Discovery. And so that did not apparently amuse Lockham Murdoch, who I'm told, that's another wrinkle to this, is Fox under Lockham's guidance is migrating more, let's say, gently to the center, as paradoxically CNN is trying to migrate to right, from far left. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic to watch. I understand that the young Mr. Murdoch is more known for being a Manhattan socialite than a big thinker or a business strategist. Again, gently put. So we'll see whether or not Fox's business model can sustain new leadership, or is it going to go the way of the Budweiser Corporation and Disney? That's another one. So
Tucker can stream on
Tucker
Twitter.
Is in a and he doesn't have a financial arrangement. Apparently, what was done, and I'm told that this actually is illegal and that Mr. Carlson could sue over this, is that he has a contract that involves a payment for services in the form of his broadcasting, and that Fox is not releasing him from that contract, but not allowing him to broadcast. And I believe that's a breach of contract. And so I speculate that Mr. Carlson has legal grounds to challenge that arrangement. But that seems to be the box he's in right now, is they're silencing him with a kind of a golden muzzle of his annual salary, but not being allowed to do anything that would be competitive to his prior remit, which always allowed him to do outside gigs and comments. So I was with him at the Bitcoin conference 2 years ago, and he was very forthcoming there, and not at all censored by looking over his shoulder about his main employer. So he seems to be in a position where he's got to figure out whether he's willing to go to the mat with Fox and assert that they are breaching his contract, or is he going to just go quietly into the night? Given all that he's been subjected to, I certainly could empathize with his wanting to just hang out with his family and collect his salary and tell the world to go pound sand. So Tucker, I did get his booker reached out to me. This is a small fragment of information, and said she's no longer with Fox, but she wanted to make sure that I had her updated contact information. And I said in response, don't hesitate to let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys and for Tucker. And that's kind of where that stood.
Okay. And is he still
okay, go ahead.
Is he still putting out videos on Twitter regularly?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
My life is such that I can barely keep up with my text messages.
I got you.
So yeah, I'm not as attuned to that part of the media world. I'm busy.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.